Hey there, Spellhammer here, and welcome back. You actually caught me right before bedtime. We've got a storm rolling in, it looks like, and it is time to get some rest. So we're gonna cozy up into our tent here, hope we don't have any leaks, and get a good night's sleep because tomorrow we'll be busy with our new mowing setup. Hopefully we'll have another grass field ready to go. So let's go ahead and rest for the evening. And thank goodness it's done raining. So let's just go out and survey our fields. And wow, this field's ready to harvest again. That's pretty interesting. Didn't expect it to be ready so soon. Let's go ahead and take a look up here at our other field. I'm hoping this one will be ready. Looks like it is ready to harvest. So we're not going to waste much time because we are paying for a lease on most of our equipment. Let's take a look real quick at what we own. Basically nothing. And what we've leased. So this is a very expensive operation at the moment. But I think it's time to get this big grass field mowed, and then we can sell some grass, be able to afford our lease payments, and maybe look at some more upgrades. So let's go ahead and lower this mower, and let's lower our forage wagon, pick up, and turn that on. Now this tractor's a little underpowered, so it is pretty slow going uphill. We'll have to see kind of how this goes, but I think it's still much faster than what we were doing before. So let's go ahead and start mowing. We'll go this way first. Kind of make a couple of passes around the field and then go from there. This tractor is really struggling even up this very slight incline. So we may not be able to complete this field without swapping out to a more powerful tractor. But looking at the capacity, this is good news. It looks like we're going to be able to fit about 16,000 liters in one load. So that's pretty exciting. And I think we'll get multiple loads out of this field. So we'll make some serious cash here with just mowing. We're not even doing silage or baling or anything yet. So that's pretty exciting. I think I am going to stop here and let's get the mower detached. Let's get the forage wagon detached. We're going to need to start our engine so we can reverse here, get that detached, and we're going to need something more powerful than this. We just can't run this setup. We probably could do just the mower or just the forage wagon, but I'm interested in expediting the process a little bit more than that. So let's take a look at the store. First, let's see what we have. It is 76 horsepower, so we need something bigger than that. I don't know if there are like customization options for this to increase the horsepower, but for now I guess I'll just return it and we'll look at what else we can get. Maybe there's a sale on something. Ooh, a baler too. I think that's a baler, right? Yeah. And what is this? Shallow cultivator. Don't need that, but maybe this. I mean, we can't afford it, so it's kind of pointless. It does have 95 horsepower though. That would have been nice if we had enough money. Maybe if we can get enough money today, we'll buy a tractor like that, or maybe that specific tractor, so that we don't have to lease one. But for now, we are going to have to lease a bigger tractor. So that was, what did we have? We had this one, I believe. Is there one here with more horsepower? I think we need something over 100. And we need the 3-point hitch on the front. 95. That's got 100, even though it's so tiny. I like the look of that, but I don't think it has the 3-point attachment on the front. And I mean, what is the lease on something like this? 105 horsepower. It's very expensive. Very expensive. So we probably want to stay under 70,000. So let's go back here. We know 75 horsepower is not enough. This one's kind of variable, so let's take a look at that. That's kind of different looking, isn't it? It's got a really tall cab engine setup. So we can increase the horsepower. It's not a bad price. It does have the 3-point on the front and the rear. Yeah, I like this. Since we're leasing it, I'm not going to customize anything else. 3,000. All right, let's go for it. That hurts when you only have a little bit of money like we do, but I think it's going to make a big difference because we're going to have a lot more horsepower to mow that field. Hopefully it doesn't get bogged down on the uphill. If it does, well, we're broke enough. We're just going to have to deal with it. This is pretty zippy though. This almost looks like a compact. Maybe not a subcompact, but definitely a compact tractor. So let's get this back to our field and get the implements hooked up and see how it does. One thing I'm not going to do at this stage is hire workers because I feel that takes away from the simulation aspect of the game a little bit. I know that in real life you would hire workers to help, but as somebody that's supposedly bootstrapping this, I don't think I'm at a point where I could afford that. So I'm going to not do that, at least for a while. We'll see. I may change my mind down the road if we get into some bigger fields and we have more to do, but for now, everything's just going to be me doing the best I can. Here's our lovely little plot of land. Need to get that tree out of the way one of these days. Get over here. We can send that mower back probably. And let's see how this little guy does. It's so tiny. It's got more horsepower, but it's so little. Oh my goodness. Is this gonna work? I don't know. It's gonna look really silly. My back tires came off the ground there for a minute. Can I even lower? Yeah, I have my pickup lowered. Okay, let's try it. So let's turn on the mowing. Let's turn on the loading wagon. Let's turn on the mower, lower it down, and let's see how it goes. It's already much faster. I know we're going downhill at the moment, but it looks promising. If downhill is this fast, then the uphill should be pretty decent. This thing is so small. I don't know if you can tell. It is so tiny. But I like small tractors, actually. So if this one does the trick, I will be very happy. And maybe we'll end up buying something like this eventually. Definitely have to save up and probably get a used tractor, though, before we buy anything new. Though this was only $68,000, so that's not too far out of the question. And I would say my other tractor was starting to slow down right about here. This one is slowing down, but not near as much. So it's looking pretty good. This uphill is going to be the real test. And we're still powering through about 10 miles an hour. So I think we've done it. I think that's an acceptable speed for being this small of a tractor and pulling this size of implement. And we're almost full, actually. So we're going to be able to make our first trip to the animal dealer and get our first payment. Yeah, this is working really, really well. Okay, we're full, so I need to lift that mower up. Actually, I need to detach it, so I'm just going to drop it there. Now, what I wonder is, can I pull this wagon with my truck? That would be nice, because I think my truck's going to be a little bit faster, though. This thing is really pretty quick. Let's go ahead and detach that. Look at those back wheels come off the ground. That's hilarious. All right, let's hop in our truck. Well, I better turn that off first. Let's hop in our truck over here and see. Yeah, I don't think it's going to work. Just from looking at it, it doesn't look like it's going to work. Which means we might be able to... Well, we're still doing the transport missions, so I don't think we can completely get rid of this truck yet, because those are a good amount of quick cash. Hey, we can. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty nice. So we'll be able to use this to go ahead and haul this off to the animal dealer pretty quickly. And let's get over there and see how much money we make from this first load. Come over to the drop-off point where we're going to be able to sell this grass. I think it will be a decent amount, maybe $3,000. That's my guess. I'm not like doing the math in my head or anything. I'm just kind of going for a guess. We'll see how far off I am. Let's go ahead and start tipping that out. Now note that we only made about 1 1/4 passes on our field. So there's a lot more grass left to get just from that one field. This will tell us kind of how much money we can make from a single field. Okay, 2,242. That's not too bad. I think I can deal with that. So we're just going to keep on working on that field, see if we can get that done today, and then see how much money we're left with and decide what our next course of action is. Probably we'll finish the field today, and then do at least one transport mission or transport contract to supplement our income. That'll take care of all of our leasing payments and should leave us with a little bit of profit. All right, there's our second full wagon. I'm gonna go ahead and mow forward a little bit, turn that off, and we can hop in the truck. One thing I do think we should go ahead and do before I forget is we should return this mower. It's really gonna be pretty useless to us now. It was okay. I didn't love it. It'd be nice for a small yard, but for what we have, not ideal. So let's go ahead and return that. What else do we have we can return? We can probably return our bucket because we don't need to use it to load grass anymore. Let's go ahead and do that. Every little bit counts. And this. And that's really what I want to see throughout this series is I want to see the number of leased items reducing and the number of owned items increasing. So we have our forage wagon ready. Let's go ahead and get it attached to our truck and we'll take it off to the animal dealer for another $2,000, $2,500. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was a pretty decent amount for a quick trip over to the animal dealer. Now, there's room to optimize this process, of course, as there always is, but I'm not exactly sure what the next step is. So I'm just going to focus on doing the work today, and then we'll strategize later. So there goes our second load of grass. I did end up having to sleep because the day kind of got away from me, but we're still in November and we've still got a lot of mowing to do. So there's another $2,200 and we're going to head back and keep on mowing. Well, here we are with the final load of grass from today's harvest. So let's go ahead and get this thing dropped off and see how much money we end up with here. This isn't a full load. We were at like 40%, so we're going to end up right around 15K, which is good. We're making forward progress now. We started the game with a couple hundred, or I should say we started the series with a couple hundred, and then ended up having to sell one of the pieces of equipment we owned to get back up to 10K. So now we're kind of in the positive, so that's good, even though we still have a lot in the way of leasing payments. And actually, I'm going to turn around because I found a much faster way. On the last load of grass, I found a much faster way to get here, which is by what looks to be an interstate. Kind of looks like the interstates here in the US, so I guess that's what it is. But anyways, my farm actually happens to be right off that main road, and this way there are a lot fewer curves. Now, how do I get on the right side? Over here, I believe. So we just hop on here and we head on over to our farm. This is much easier to drive when it's not full with thousands of liters of grass. So we have made good financial progress today. The question is, do we want to do some transport contracts? And I think the answer is yes, because it's only 11:54, so we have plenty of daylight left to make some money. Now, I was noticing, well, this certainly complicates things. How am I going to recover from this? Could I fall the rest of the way off? This would make a pretty good thumbnail too. Well, I guess that changes my plans for the day. So first order of business is getting out of the truck. Now I'm trying to play somewhat realistically, and that's hilarious. They're stopped right below me, so now I have that to contend with too. Maybe I could detach the trailer or the wagon, and maybe I'll fall the rest of the way down. The only other thing I could do is go get my skid steer and try to fix this situation. Let's turn off the engine while we think. Well, that is an interesting view. Lesson learned, don't go so fast. But what do I want to do here? Okay, I'm going to detach the wagon and hope that I don't land upside down or on one of these cars. Here we go. This is... Not only was that anticlimactic, but now I'm completely stuck. Let me see if I try to give it some gas. Whoa! What is happening? This thing's really dancing around. Oh, it's wiggling. It's like a little dancing truck now. Can I detach that? Well, that didn't help any. Okay, look at it go. Okay, I'm gonna grab my skid steer. Unfortunately, I'm just in a mess here. So this thing is on this trailer, and I don't think I can unfold the trailer without a truck attached to it. Let me see if my tractor can attach up to it. Maybe that's the answer here. Please tell me I can hook up to this. Yes, perfect. So I'm just gonna pull this down. We're actually right down there, just past those trees, I believe. So I'm gonna pull this down, and we'll take care of my truck and get it flipped over, maybe? This is steep, this is steep, this is steep, this is steep. Okay. Oh, that was close. I thought I was gonna have two flipped vehicles. All right, let's try not to do that. I'm gonna unfold and let's hop in the skid steer and get this cleaned up. Hopefully this has enough power to get this thing flipped over. Oh, it's dancing. Let's see. Let's go straight up with it. Oh my. Well, let's try this way. Boy, I would be tearing this truck up so badly. I think I need to go at it from a different angle, maybe. This was not how I pictured the rest of this day going, but here we are. Straight through the window, scratching up the paint. At some point, it's just going to make more sense to call somebody for help rather than trying to do this myself, because I think I'm going to tear up the truck more than anything. So let's see if I can get under it right here. There's something. Okay, that's progress. Let's see if I'm... Oh, okay. That's some progress, but now what do I do? Do I try to pick it up from the bottom again? Welcome to Truck Recovery Simulator, apparently. Let's see if we can pull that again. No, it's stuck on there pretty good. Maybe if I can get it unwedged from that pole, I can make some better progress on it. I'll just give it a shove over here. Boy, that truck is heavy. My goodness. There we go. See if I can avoid getting my skid steer stuck. Hey, you know what's messed up is all this equipment is leased. So, yeah. Thank goodness this is not real life, because I would be in a world of hurt right now. Let me try backing into it. Oh, that's the wrong kind of progress. I feel like we're getting it there. We just need it to kick out a little bit further. And there we go. I think I got it. All right. So I am going to have some repairs probably, which I didn't really count on. But, you know, at least I didn't have to also pay for somebody to get my truck out of that mess. So here's a lesson. Don't drive so dumbly on the interstate, because guess what? Things can go really, really poorly if you do that. So now let's see if I can get this back home, and then we'll recover our forage wagon. And yet another complication. Great. Here we go. Let's go at it from a different angle here. Okay, at last we are back on track and back home safe again. in one piece, mostly. The truck undoubtedly has some damage, but we'll deal with that another time. With that little detour, I think I'm going to call the video here. And next time, we'll get into some transport contracts to hopefully make a little bit more money before I flip another vehicle.